Greetings everyone, welcome back to my corner of the craft room and welcome to the hashtag halfway to Halloween collab 2024. So thank you for your time and thank you for joining us and watching our little projects. This is a load of fun. So with this collaboration, we post every Thursday since Halloween is on Thursday for the month of May. Our weekly projects will include a theme, a technique, and a color, which was created by our talented hosts, Judy over at the Scrapbook Loft and Susan from Craft Adventures with Susan Tootsie Tucker. As mentioned, we post our creations on every Thursday by 10 a.m. Central, I believe, for the month of May. So for this Thursday's elements, which is May 9th, sorry, I'm doing this ahead of time because I have a medical procedure going on during when this is due, so I'm trying to get a jump start on my projects. So for this theme this week, it is cemetery for the theme. The technique is a die cut, and the color is black and gray. So for this week's project, I grabbed all of my cemetery-esque type dies and stamps, and then for a while there, I just kind of stared at them. Like, what am I going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to create another scene, but like how? How am I going to do it? So I went to my trusty moon stamp, and I actually used the larger of the three. And then, of course, I ink blended my favorite spooky background Halloween colors, which is Twisted Citron, Rustic Wilderness, and Black Soot. So that's my standard favorite Halloween-y night sky, or spooky sky, I should say. And then I pulled out this stamp and die set from Whimsy Stamps. Grave. It pops. I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. But so I did use like this big die, and then I used like a couple of the medium-sized dies from this collection, and then I did use some of the stamps for some of the techniques. So I did pull out that as my main focal point, and then I did pull out the Gatekeeper die set from Tim Holtz. And then I also pulled out, I just recently got this, so this was exciting, but the Howling Night dice from Whimsy Stamps, I used this die set right here. And then for fun, I pulled out the Kitty Cats die from Spellbinders. And I actually used these two little girls. And then for my stamp sets, I did pull out the Tombstone Witch from Colorado Craft. Yeah, I didn't use that. I used this as well as some of the sentiments for inside my card, and I created this little creature. So the tombstones, I had so much fun. So I did die cut them in like a really dark gray, and then I did again in a light gray to give it like kind of a shadowy effect. And so I took what did I take? I took this Brilliance pigment ink Moonlight White, and mine's actually really dry. I even re-inked it, and it just puddled on the top. So it's kind of like gross. But then I took one of these little sponges and kind of just dabbed all over this tombstones and then let it dry. And then once it was dry, I went over it with a heat emboss, like I stamped it black. My favorite black because it's kind of detailed, the VersaFine Black Onyx. And then I heat embossed with a detailed silver, and then I stamped it back over it again with more black ink to give it like a I don't know if you can see it, but it kind of just, where it didn't emboss all the way, because this is like really old, the black popped out again. So it kind of, for me, gave an old look to it. So I did that with all of the tombstones. I even added some black, like, what's on this stamp? Like the little crackles to make it look like it was all cracked. And then I went over it with this dry brush with some forest moss, which I don't know if this forest moss is a true oxide, because it feels like it's a stress ink, not an oxide. It doesn't have that chalky texture to it like the rest of them do. So I'm wondering, like, did I get a bad pad or what? But I just kind of like just haphazardly went around the tombstone with some of this, and just in different spots. I didn't do throughout. And then once that was dried, I went over it with this grit paste, Crypt, and then just kind of took my palette knife and just scraped some on the sides, and then went back over it with my dry brush without re-inking it. And what was left on the brush activated the grit paste and turned it green. So it gave it that really cool mossy look. So that was my tombstones. And then in the background tombstones, where I used this dye, I just used black cardstock, and then I went over it again with, like, edged it with this to give it like a shiny look, I guess. And then for the gates, all I did was just cut it in black cardstock, real thin cardstock too. So I layered three cuts. And then I used a metallic paper that's from Michael's, and it's like this mirrored look metallic. And so I did that for the highlights. And then of course I got my little kitty sitting right there, and I also inked with her with this on the sides. And then yeah, I just donned it with some crystals everywhere to make it look like shiny moon. And then I changed up my background, because usually when I do my splatters, I do like a acrylic paint, but I'm actually been trying using this Dark Martens Bleed White, Proof White, and it actually is pretty well, because when you use the acrylic and you water it down, it kind of fades a little bit. So when you add water to this, it stays white, and so it really looks good. And so the inside of the card, so of course, you know, the kitty's like up to mischief because it's up to no good. And then the inside of the card, I stamped the witch in pumice stone, and we've got I've Been Waiting for You with the kitty cat, and this is Happy Halloween. So that is my creation for this collaboration. Next week we will be doing, so the theme for next week, for next Thursday, is skeleton. The technique is going to be distress, and then the color is going to be neon. Oh boy. So I don't think I have anything neon, so we will see what I create, or what I could think of. I don't know. It's going to take me a minute. So until next time, y'all have a great day, and the rest of your week, have a fabulous one. Go check out the other participants. Their links will be down below. Click on them and go see what they created. I'm excited to see what they created. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.